Happy Tuesday. It is filming day, so I have some makeup on. I have a giant pile of clothes, which I will show you in a second. I knew I'd made a lot of things, but wow, en masse, they are a lot of things. Like I say, June, half of June, all of July, and then 2 things in August, and now 2 things in September. I tried my jogging bottoms on again last night once I'd hemmed them, and actually looking at them in the mirror up there, the bias binding down the side probably was a mistake. It probably wasn't a stable enough fabric to have that feature on it. But other than that, you know what? They look quite nice. They're very, very soft. And they go really well with the 8145 that I finished yesterday as well. The strip down the side of the bias binding is basically the same colour. It's like I planned it. Although the Peeps in the hangout on Sunday did pick that bias binding colour for me. Speaking of Peeps, I have some lovely new Patreon Peeps to say hi to. First we have the very lovely Helen. Thank you and welcome to the Patreon Peeps. The very lovely Dizzy Knits and Curls. She has joined the Patreon Peeps, so welcome and thank you. The very lovely Dawn Barnes has also joined the Patreon Peeps. Welcome and thank you very much. And last but not least, the very lovely Janet McKinnon has also joined the Patreon Peeps. So thank you and welcome. Thank you very much, you guys. I am going to be filming the Patreon One Take Waffle later on today as well. It's just kind of like a quick behind the scenes catch up of what's been going on. Just a general sort of like random, unedited, verbal stream of consciousness basically, and that's available to all tiers on the Patreon Peeps, and I do those every month or so. I was late with last month's and I'm determined not to be late with this month, so that's something that I'm going to get done today as well. Also the intros and outros for the hem leveling video. Fingers crossed I will have enough videos to go up whilst I'm away. Although I'm thinking, having watched the footage back for the 7538, I am going to butcher that brown and green dress for parts. I like it, but I know that I don't like it enough and I don't feel confident enough in it to wear it as is, but I do want to remake the pattern, so I am going to do that with one of my either thicker jerseys, or I am going to buy some scuba from Fabric Styles. There is a couple of styles that I really like. I love this leafy one. If I did the leafy one, then I would go for a dark green middle like I've gone for with this one, but I think it might work better because it was light at the top and then dark green in the middle. Or I love this one with the pansies on it, and if I go for that one I would do a solid black middle. I think it would look really nice with a purple middle, but it needs to be the exactly right purple to match with those pansies. So I'm thinking one of those two, and yeah, I think I'm gonna butcher this one for parts because the chocolate brown is a really lovely colour and I do like it, so I would like a t-shirt out of that, and I think I have enough to do a short sleeved gable t-shirt out of that, because having thought about it, I really don't want to try and take the sleeves off. I think what I might even try and do with this one is turn it into a t-shirt and then use the skirt parts for another top. We shall see though. We shall see. Anyway, I have got a lot of filming to do. I will show you the pile of clothes that I now need to try on and twirl. And I have brought down a few different shoe options for styling as well. Shooting this part of the video was much easier in my old place because everything was in the same place, but now all my clothes and shoes and accessories are up in my room, and then obviously this is my filming area, so it's slightly more difficult because I need to try and decide ahead of time, although it's not that far away, and if I've missed something or forgotten something or want to change something, I can nip back up to the main house to get it, so it's not the end of the world. But I will show you what I'm working with. That is indeed a giant pile of clothes that need to be filmed, and as I say, I brought down some choices of accessories.
One eternity later.
Wow, it's 10 to 6 and I have just finished filming. I did think I was going to get some sewing done today. Nah, I'm definitely not going to get some sewing done today, and I don't know how much waffle there's going to be either. I probably will end up putting today's waffle and tomorrow morning's waffle together because I'm leaving for London. I think my ferry's at like 3:45 I think tomorrow. I have all morning to get some bits and pieces done, so I might do some sewing tomorrow morning, who knows. But yeah, I have talked a lot today. And I have also filmed a lot of twirls. I had 28 pieces in the stuff since I've sewn since the last time I showed you my May and June lookbook. 28 pieces. That's a lot. That's an awful lot. But the majority of them I'm really pleased with, and the things that I'm going to donate, I'm pleased that I tried and I have either learnt something from them. You know, none of them were utter utter fails other than the Simplicity 8013 gown. Yeah, but Big Bird's going to take that off my hands with the pattern and the tracing that I've done of it as well, to either use the fabric and try and make one for herself or make something completely different. So it's not complete waste, which is good. And it was inexpensive fabric that was bought to make a toile of that particular dress pattern. So, you know, it was bought with the intention of using to see if I like it, to then use more expensive fabric, because that pattern takes 10 meters. It is fabric hungry. One of my favorite authors has released a new book today. I had it on pre-order. It's the Naomi Novik Deadly Education. Oh, I can't remember what this one's called. I've been listening to it whilst I was doing the twirls. It's called The Last Graduate. The first one was called, yeah, the first one was called A Deadly Education. This one's called The Last Graduate, and the series is called the Scholarmance series. I'm really enjoying it. It is young adult fiction, but we've established that that is my, you know, bread and butter. I enjoy it, so yes. Right, I need to tidy up, so I need to take all of these clothes back up to the main house, all my shoes back up to the main house as well. Now I can put them back into the wardrobe. If you watch my how and where I store my clothes video, you know that I have a wardrobe for my newly made things, and they get put in there. Oh, my memory card's nearly full. 2 secs. That's when you know you've been waffling a lot, when you fill up a 60 gig memory card. I've just deleted all the waffle that I've already edited and scheduled for tomorrow, so I can continue to waffle at you this evening. What was I saying? Yes, I need to put all of the stuff that I've now filmed and talked about into my wardrobe, into its final homes. So I think, as I mentioned, I have a wardrobe where I put new things made and they stay there until I have filmed the lookbooks and twirls for them, and once I've done that, then they go into whatever section of the wardrobe they fit into, like tops, skirts, trousers, dresses, etc., and that's where they live permanently. So that part of the wardrobe was getting very, very full, like I say, 28 things, so I can feed it all into where it's actually permanently going to live now, which is great. I'm gonna go and do that, and then I'm gonna have some dinner, and I think that's gonna be it for me waffle wise today. Like I say, I will film tomorrow morning before I head up to London. I will try and film a little bit whilst I'm in London, because we are helping, or Wilson is moving house and I'm helping him, and I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but he's moving behind the Goldhawk Road. So there might be a little bit of fabric feeling going on at some point whilst I'm up in London, because it's going to be right there. I mean, literally, the Sainsbury's that is going to be his local is in between fabric shops. And it also happens to be the place where they send you to go to the cash point. So no, I don't need any more fabric. I did not need any more fabric. I will probably do a little bit of waffling whilst I'm away, but I have a lot of videos that I need to edit and get up for whilst I'm away. I've got the 7810 sew along, I've got the 8145 sew along, I have got the hemming video, I've got today's lookbook, and I've got a Patreon one take waffle exclusive video, then hopefully this waffle, one more waffle for you guys as well to go up, and then there's a waffle scheduled for tomorrow as well. So hopefully I will have a video going up every other day whilst I'm away as well. Fingers crossed, that's the plan. We shall see. Anyway, I'm going to tidy up after myself, so I will say goodnight to you guys for now, because I am thirsty and hungry, and I'm going to spend the evening editing. Fun times. Hey peeps, happy Tuesday. It's a week, no, 2 weeks since that last clip. I fully intended to film on the Wednesday in the morning, but it was basically just packing, and then I ended up not really doing anything remotely interesting, so I didn't film then. And then I kind of intended to film a little bit whilst I was up in London, but obviously we were moving, or I was helping Wilson move house, which went very well. He's all in and that's all sorted, literally behind the Goldhawk Road. I mean, it could not be any better. I was going to take you guys there for kind of a little shopping trip to buy some fabric to commemorate the weekend or the moving week. I kind of ran out of money so I didn't do that. And yeah, I came home yesterday. I've been to the beauty salon today, had my eyelashes done, I've had a facial, which is why I'm quite so shiny. I came home to some Happy Mail. I don't know if you remember, but I was cutting out the Adrienne blouse out of the Savannah crepe. This is the 7319 dress back here. Yeah, I was cutting out the Adrienne blouse thinking I was being really clever, and I managed to get 2 sleeves out. It's like, no, I managed to cut 1 sleeve without a fold in it, so just 2 parts of 1 sleeve. So I cut the rest of the sleeves out of the dark green, and I decided that I really probably wasn't going to like that. So I put out a plea on the Peeps group for, did anyone have 50 centimetres of the Savannah viscose jersey that I could buy, because I couldn't find it online. And Stephanie replied like with minutes later with at least 2 listings of Peeps shops that still had it, like Minerva Crafts, and I got it from Flying Bobbins in the end. And I promise I googled first, I promise I did look, I tried to research, but then not all of the fabric shops call the fabrics the same thing. So if you Google for a specific name of a fabric, then might not necessarily turn up, as I found out. If you can hear Chi in the background, she's come down to the sewing room with me today, although there are gardeners in the back garden, so she's not relaxing as much as I thought she would. But apparently when I went out this morning, she has been yowling at the top of her lungs because she knows that I'm home. And yeah, so I thought I'd try and see how she gets on down here. But as I say, there are gardeners, and this is not her, it's exactly the same view, just from a different direction, but then it's in her room, her safe space, and this isn't her safe space yet. So I might end up having to take her back up if she doesn't settle, but we'll see, because she's just going to then sit in the window and scream at me to come and get her. So anyway, fabrics. So I've got the 50 centimetre, which is going to just be wide enough for the Adrienne blouse. It's just going to be long enough to get this 2 sleeves out of that, which is great. I don't know why this feels slightly different to the other one. I'm wondering if this is the viscose jersey and this is maybe the Cyril crepe. They feel slightly different. They look pretty much the same. Oh, I don't know actually, you know what? I think these are the different fabrics. So yeah, look, this is the viscose jersey, and I think this might be the Cyril crepe. This might be the polyester stretch that they've got, because this is slightly lighter than this. I think it'll be fine for the top because the print is obviously the same, just the background's a little bit different. I do think it'll be better than if I put on the dark green sleeves, because I've done that before in the past and I just never wear that t-shirt. So I do think this is going to be a better option. We'll see how odd it looks. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Also, whilst I was away, the 9 meters of the viscose that I got from the textile centre to do the comparison video has turned up and very kindly been washed by Papa. So I have 9 meters of this. I really like this print, so I'm thinking I'm going to do the McCalls 7974, and I'm going to make it the size that I think it should be, and then the size that they say I should make. I wanted to give it the best, because I'd thought about doing this before and just doing it in calico. Whilst that will kind of give you the idea, if I use a drapey fabric for the one that fits me, and then I use a stiff fabric for the one that is going to be too big, it's not going to be an accurate comparison, is it? Yeah, I bought 9 meters of this. It was £3 per meter. It was in the sale, and I do really like it. I've been eyeing it up for a while, so you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm just going to end up with a dress that's going to be too big for me, but as I've mentioned, I'm going to do a giveaway for it for one of you guys, so I will put the measurements up, and then for whoever wants it and wants to fit into it and have it whichever way they like, they can have it. But yeah, I think it's quite nice. I mean, obviously it doesn't remotely go with Savannah print wise. They're sleeves and they do have very similar colours in them, just yeah. Anyway, you could probably hear there's somebody mowing the lawn in the back garden as well. Like I said, we've got some gardeners here, so it could be quite loud today, and I was going to try and do a sew along for the 7319, which is what I'm wearing today as well. And like I mentioned, I don't know if you can see like the underneath layer here, I did it in a plain black viscose jersey, and every now and again it does kind of ride up and you get a little peak, so I'm going to try and put some tacking stitches in that to keep it down. I have cut the underlayer out for this one out of cotton jersey, and then the overlayers are all out of the viscose jersey, so I'm hoping it will kind of like hold itself a little bit better and won't stretch quite so much in the top there. But I do really like this dress, it's very comfortable. Right, so I'm going to stop waffling at you. I'm going to get the Adrienne sleeves cut out of this. I will get them sewn on, and fingers crossed they don't look too weird. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it now because I've bought this. I've got 50 centimeters of this, so I've got to do something with it, haven't I? Yeah. Just be more careful when you start cutting out projects, clearly. Chiana has found the bolts of silk to sit on. Is this acceptable, my lady? Okay, good.
2 hours later.
I decided against trying to do a sew along with all of the gardeners in the garden, so I decided to try the Adrienne blouse with the different fabric that I got from the sleeves. Do you know what? It's slightly noticeable, but it's not bad. Gianna is still down here with me. She chilled out a lot in the afternoon, has spent quite a lot of time on my lap as well, which was quite interesting when I needed to use the overlocker. But she's much happier. And she hasn't been shouting at mum and dad all day, which I'm sure they're very grateful for. So yes, this is the Adrienne blouse. I have put on some little cuffs with this one rather than just using elastic in this bit. She's been trying to lick this bag all day as well, which is why I put it up there. I think I'm going to need to move it. You've got a thing for plastic bags, haven't you? And yes, I've been wearing a dress today, so I've got my slip on. So yes, I decided that I do love the Adrienne blouse. I've got 2 of them, 3 now, and I'm just in the middle of making my 4th. I decided that I would like to try it with cuffs rather than just the elastication at the bottom of the sleeve, because whilst I really like that, I just think it's not a top that I feel warm enough wearing in the cooler months. And obviously we're coming into autumn now, and we're definitely in autumn. So yeah, I just did some cuffs. I actually got them from the Camatia boxy hoodie, and I just shortened them a little bit because the Camatia ones come up to the elbow, and obviously I didn't need them to come up that far. I think it's worked really well, which is great, because I have, as I say, I'm making another one at the moment in the kind of like caramelly coloured viscose jersey from Minerva Crafts. I also tried to lower the front edge of this by 1 inch, and I think I've achieved that, because this is definitely the front, that's the back. I have marked them. I think that's worked out really well. The sleeves are ever so slightly narrower than they would have been, because it literally took all of that 50 centimeters of fabric that I got earlier. Actually, these sleeves are about 1.5 inches shorter than they should have been if I'd have had 55 centimeters of fabric. They would have been the perfect length for the pattern piece, but I think I get away with it. I don't think you can really tell the difference, and I'm really glad that I did go for the print on the sleeves rather than the dark green, because I just don't think I would have worn it. I'm very happy with this. I like this a lot, which is good because, as I say, I'm making another one. But this is the first piece of the Savannah print that I've actually got sewn up. I still have a Renfrew t-shirt and the 7319 dress to make from this jersey. I'm going to be doing a sew along for the 7319 because you guys have asked for that. I filmed all the pattern bits and I now need to just actually make the thing. But lots of noise today, so I decided against trying to compete with the gardeners. I have made another jumper, so I'm going to put that on quickly, show you that, and then I'm going to take Chi up for her dinner because she is getting a little bit restless. And this is a McCalls 7634 without all of the hood or front details, you can obviously tell. I added like a roll neck to this one, so it was just whatever of the fabric I had left. Because I kind of like this neckline. If I'd have only had enough to put on a standard neckline, I'd have done that as well, but I do like this. This is a couple of remnants that I got from Bombay stores. They had like bags of remnants in them, and I had this bag had 2 of these in. It's a really nice colour. The outside of this is really soft. The inside of this is not as soft as I would like it to be. And this is going to definitely be a layering piece for me over some of the other t-shirts, like the Paola t-shirt and things like that I'm finishing off in the next couple of days, all my pile of knit projects back there. But yeah, I mean, this took me like an hour to sew up, and I had the right colour thread on the overlocker, so I decided just to get this one done whilst the thread was correct and then move on to the next lot. Two tops in a couple of hours with also the cat, and yeah, it's not as prolific as I would have liked to have been, and I definitely would be staying and doing more. I think it's about 4:30 now, and I came down here about 1:30, so that's not too bad. 3.5 hours? Yeah, 3 hours, that's not too bad. This one definitely has had enough of being down here. You can't quite see her, can you? There you go. She's definitely had enough of being down here, and I think she wants some dinner. It is dinner time, isn't it, darling? Hey? Yeah? I think what I'll do is take her up. I'll have some dinner as well, and maybe not quite now, maybe in a little bit, but I'll have some dinner as well, and then I will come back down a little bit later and finish off some work. So I hope you've enjoyed the little bit that I have done today. If I do anything further this evening, I shall be sure to show you and let you know, but just in case I don't, I will say good night for now. So hope you've enjoyed my day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.